Hello, my friend. It is New Year's Eve. Do I wear the hat now? What do you think? New Year's Eve all day? Maybe not all day, but I tell you, I have been places where I have worn it a good portion of the day when I was in an office and we were there for part of the day. Yes, I think it's festive. You need to wear it on the New Year's Eve, right? Because New Year's Day, you move on to the new things. So happy New Year's Eve. I'm Pat Sloan and this is my daily video. So I have on our calendar for today that it was a party. And by party, I mean stay at home and sew, right? Is that what quilters do when we party? So let's talk about that. What do you do on New Year's Eve? And what do you get ready for on New Year's Day? So let me just talk about those things first. So New Year's Eve, most of the time, we have not been people who have gone out any place. So it's really no different this year than most years as we just stay at home. But when we were younger, we did go to some parties on New Year's Eve. The best one was when we could walk home. It was a party just a few blocks up from where we lived. That was really fun. And I've always wanted to have a fancy cocktail party. Think like the like a 50s type of party where everybody dresses up very chic and you come and you visit and you have beautiful cocktails. I don't know. I just always thought that was just something I will do. I will do it. I will put that. Remember my word for 2021 is do. I can roll that into whenever it happens, but keep that word do. I will do that someday. Not this year. No. But that's so on New Year's Eve. The one thing I am going to do is watch a movie. Well, not a movie. It's a documentary. It's a documentary that I found. I have just discovered, and I may have been under a rock all this time, Lucy Worsley, who is from the UK. She is a historian, and she does a lot of documentaries about different things in history and has for many years. And so I started out, the first one I saw got recommended to me at YouTube, and it was about all the homes that Jane Austen, the author, lived in. And I thought, oh, I really liked this Lucy that was doing all the presenting. So I went and read about her, because that's what I like to do when I see somebody I like to go read about them. And then I've discovered that she has one. She has a lot out there on YouTube. Just put her name in and all kinds of stuff comes up. But the one I'm going to link to down below is to the recreation. She decided it would be fun to recreate the wedding of Victoria and Albert. And it's like an hour and a half long, so I can get my crochet or my cross stitch and watch it. Greg won't be watching this one. He'll probably go watch Hogan's Heroes or something. We'll visit first and have some snacks, and then I will go in my sewing room and watch the recreation of the Victoria and Albert wedding, which is really interesting. I did skim through it and watch a little bit. They have like recreating the clothing, which of course is textiles and sewing, and love that. So that's what I'm going to watch, and I might then skim around and find another one of hers, maybe a shorter one, so I can, have a nice evening of British history. My dad's wife is British, and so we do get a bit of British history now and then. She hasn't lived there since she was probably 17, which is a long time ago, and she's a U.S. citizen and been here many, many years. But it's I'll have to send her this one so she can watch it too. Okay, so that is my evening. Our traditions for New Year's Day, which I'll talk about again tomorrow. I will have a video for New Year's Day. But on New Year's Day, we have pork and sauerkraut and succotash. Succotash is corn and lima beans. And the one thing and that's all for good luck. Pork and sauerkraut and succotash is for good luck. And then this is my tradition, I don't know who else does this, is I need to do a little bit of everything I want to do for the year. So I will talk about that tomorrow. But put that in your noggin. That on New Year's Day, plan to do a little bit of everything you want to do, except for maybe see people in person, that part with, pandemic, that's, but other than that, make a list. Now, I told you that I was very excited about that sweater block, and I also said that, sometimes, we like something and we just, it just sits there or becomes a pile. We never sort of make it or do anything with it. It's like, I am going to do that block. And so, da-da-da-da-da, a sweater block. I just love it. It's so darn cute. So darn cute. So I did one block, and I used the fabric that was the feature fabric of the pattern. Here's the, where did I put the pattern? Here's the pattern. So what I want to do is show you this fabric, because it's actually pretty. It's always really wonderful when the designers take the fabric and I'm looking for something and I can't find it. I'll show you a second. So they take the fabric and create something that specifically uses it in a really interesting way. So they took the sweater. Let's come down here. So they took the sweater fabric. That's this. This is this print. And I know I kept this. Oh, did I put it here? I put it over here. That's why I can't find it. Hold on. It's in the rolling assistant. All right. So here is the fabric. Here's the blue one. So it's got it's a stripe, and they created it with sort of looks like these snowflakes and these different images, but this is all like interpreted then as the sweater. So what I did was find a portion of this, because see here I have these circles, and then here is like, turn it up the other way. Okay, so I use this section of the circles and the squares for across here. But I could have used this section. I could have used all of these dots, but I had that just sort of right up at the top instead. But you could have made this like right down the middle. So you can play around with it. And then on the side, it's rotated. So the stripe is this way, and I took that and it's rotated for the sleeve. And then it's got cuffs. Now, I wanted to do this so it did not look Christmassy. The whole fabric line has, you know, like it has these. There's still this is still available. There's still some of this available, but it has these little. They'd be like the ugly sweater, right? You could do that. Although I think they're cute. I don't think they're ugly, but you could do a bear sweater, and then they had the peace doves. And this is the one I could have used for here, because I want to do navy. So I could have used this one with the Christmas balls all over it, because they actually just look like dots from a distance. So I could have done that one there. This is also really beautiful. This would have been a really pretty base for the bottom. Now what they did on their pattern is that those solid colors are actually, I'm going to show you, it's a line that they have called speckled. So here it is, and I think the whole background of it is this darker speckle, or it could have been this medium one. It's hard to tell from the printing. It looks actually more like this one, because it looks more taupey to me, although this looks darker in the print, but it could just be, you know, going to the print. But they then use the base of the sweaters, like here was a navy with all this speckle on it. So like I got this charm pack so that I can use it for matching colors if I want to, you know, see something and figure out, well, which of these speckles would be the best, because I think it's one of their basics now. Then I just used a grunge, which is one of the Moda's basics, and that I use for the background versus doing something darker, because I want to do it I want to do it blue and white to put in my living room for a pillow. So now you can help me, because I have this sweater block is going to be a pillow. This was so fast to make. It's just some rectangles and squares. The pattern is free. They do have a few that you can print, like these printed versions. You can print and get a copy. So if you want that, you can get the link below. But I have, whoops, let me just pull this back. That's why it's so close. So I could do it as my bigger pillow. See, I have the sweater. I could put a top and the bottom of the white, and then I could do a little rim of navy, and then I would probably do a light color backing, like maybe the white on the back, and this would be a big pillow. Or I had this little rectangle pillow. This is what I've had on my couch right now for, you know, December. But the little rectangle pillow, it just fits to the edge. So the little sweater, you know, fits right to the edge, and I would just have to add a little bit on the top and bottom. I'd probably add a little bit of white around the outside, so that that way the white would go into the seam allowance, not the sleeve cuff of the sleeve. So tell me, do you like it on the smaller pillow, or should it be on the bigger pillow? These are huge decisions, you know, and and I'm going to do this today on New Year's Eve. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the pillow. So, ta-da! The other thing I'm going to do on New Year's Eve, and on New Year's Day, you will see it up on the wall there. Right now I have the ripples still up there, but that's going to come down. I'm going to cut some backing fabric. One of the blue fabrics I'm going to pick. But on New Year's Day, I am going to, because on New Year's Day I always want to do a little something, and creating something new, brand spanking new, is something just makes my heart beat fast. I just get so excited. So remember the Florida fabric? Yes, I am going to use the Florida fabric. I decided that what I'm going to do is this this quilt from the Jolly Bar Book 2. And so it's very simple. I can probably, I don't know, I don't have to do it all on New Year's Day, but you know, if I started on maybe tonight, New Year's Eve, a little bit, get the things cut. I am going to make it a little bit longer, because I would like it, it is 62 by 68, so I want to make it like 2 rows more at least. And that means I have to add a little bit of fabric. And so I went through, and because these were, you know, like oranges and egrets and whatever, but also they're Florida things, but also Florida things, they do strawberries in Florida. And so from the same designers, I've got 3 of their strawberry, I have some other ones too, I think, but I have the strawberries, so I'm going to add a little bit of strawberries. I also found the octopus, which they had done, and a navy, an older navy that they had done. And then these also, I think, looked really good. They just feel sort of Florida to me with the aqua. And here's one with some gold check. And so I will cut some extra 10-inch or 5x10 for this quilt. I also, while I was digging around, found these 2 fabrics that I can make pillows that will go with it. So when I switch over in the summer to do sort of a nautical, not a nautical, just sort of a beachy, you know, summery feel, I've got this big palm tree fabric that will definitely be that big pillow. Look at that. Oh my God. These are older fabrics, by the way. From that one was called Poolside, and that was the older cotton and steel. So this is a very, very old fabric, this coral from Joel Dewberry years ago. But anyway, that is what I am going to do. I'm just going to whip up this really easy sort of, just, you know, it's just fun. I got to do something fun. And that's the whole goal of New Year's Day for me, is to do some fun things. Now, I have to get some stuff updated on my website. I'm going to be trying to do that. Also, get it done in the next few days so that I can start. So I've got it cleared up. I've got stuff that has to get loaded, some changes to the I Love to Make Quilts to our Sew Along page to get some updates there. So I'm working on all that. And I want to thank Rosemary, who sent me, wrote me and said that she has some, she sent me this cute little card, and she has some sourdough starter that she dried. And I've been doing my sourdough stuff, and so she sent me some of her dried sourdough starter, which she has named Seymour. And you go to the King Arthur website, and then somewhere on there that tells you how to tells you how to dry and then rehydrate starter. So that's all fascinating. I'm learning so much because I'm doing my sourdough starter. I'm finally doing it after wanting to do it for 30 years. I mean, really a long, long time. I've really, really always wanted to try it and never sort of, you know, made the effort. Well, Christmas Day I started, and I am just thrilled. Hopefully this weekend I will bake some crackers first, because the sourdough starter is not strong enough yet for bread, but I am going to try some crackers, which everybody says it should work, so we will see. So happy New Year's Eve from Greg and I. I hope that you party like a quilter and sew all night. So if you're looking for the links, they're down under the video. Please subscribe. Subscribe. It helps me. And I want to tell you one quick thing is that there is some sort of dumb site out there that's impersonating me. And by impersonating me, they are using my picture, and then they are making comments. And so if you see a comment where my name does not have a big gray box around it, it might have my picture, but there's no gray box, that means it's an impersonator. And usually they're trying to like sell you stocks or something stupid and telling you to contact some man. I mean, stuff I would never say, right? So if you see that, just either report it as spam or, like some saying, stuff I wouldn't say. It should be gone soon. I've reported it. It just takes YouTube here a couple days. If I said Facebook earlier, I meant YouTube. I meant here at YouTube. So, that kind of crap's out there. But it will be gone soon. So if you see it, just ignore it. So I love you. Happy New Year's Eve. I'll see you online. Mwah.